The woman on the stairs. Ajay had always been a skeptic. Ghost stories, urban legends, and so-called paranormal experiences never scared him. He believed in logic, in science, in things that could be explained. But what happened that night changed everything. It was a humid summer evening in Chennai, and Ajay had just finished his late shift at the call center where he worked. His bike had a punctured tire earlier in the day, so he had no choice but to walk home. The shortcut was through an old railway overpass, a pedestrian bridge with crumbling stairs that connected two parts of the city. Most people avoided the overpass at night. It was poorly lit, covered in graffiti, and eerily silent. But Ajay had taken this route dozens of times before. He wasn't afraid. As he approached the stairs, he noticed how quiet the area was. Normally, he could hear distant traffic or dogs barking. But tonight there was nothing, just a heavy silence pressing down on him. Shrugging off the unease creeping up his spine, he climbed the stairs. The old wooden steps creaked beneath his feet, echoing in the empty night. Then, halfway up, he saw her. A woman sat on the stairs, her back facing him. She was dressed in a dull, off-white sari, and her long, unkempt hair covered her face. Her shoulders shook as if she were crying. Ajay hesitated. It was unusual to see anyone here this late, especially a woman. His first thought was that she might be in trouble. Maybe she had been robbed or lost her way. Clearing his throat, he called out softly, "Madam, are you okay?" She didn't respond. She didn't even flinch. Ajay felt a strange discomfort settle in his chest, but he forced himself to step closer. "Do you need help? It's not safe to be alone here at this hour." Again, no response. The woman kept crying softly, rocking back and forth, her hands clutching her knees. Something about the way she moved seemed unnatural, too slow, too deliberate. Ajay took another step forward, now just a few feet away. "Madam." Suddenly she stopped. The crying ceased. The rocking motion stilled. The silence that followed was so heavy that Ajay could hear his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. Then slowly, painfully, she turned her head. Ajay's breath caught in his throat. Her face, if it could even be called that, was grotesque. Hollow, empty eyes stared at him, black as the night. Her mouth was stretched into a wide, unnatural grin, as if her lips had been forcibly pulled apart. Ajay stumbled backward, his legs refusing to move fast enough. Then she stood up, not in a normal way. Her body didn't move like a person should. It jerked upward in a series of unnatural twitches, like a puppet being yanked by invisible strings. Ajay felt cold terror grip his entire body. He turned and bolted down the stairs, his breath coming in short gasps. He didn't dare look back. As he reached the bottom, his foot slipped and he crashed onto the pavement. Pain shot up his arm, but he didn't stop. He scrambled to his feet and sprinted towards the main road. Only when he reached the street, panting and drenched in sweat, did he dare to look back. The staircase was empty. The woman was gone. For a long moment, he just stood there, his mind racing, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Maybe it was his imagination. Maybe the stress of work and exhaustion had made him hallucinate. But then he noticed something. His left arm, the one he had landed on when he fell, was ice cold. The skin was clammy, numb, and when he rolled up his sleeve, his blood ran cold. There, on his forearm, were 4 dark bruises, fingerprints, as if someone had grabbed him. The next day, Ajay told a friend about his experience. His friend, a lifelong resident of Chennai, paled. "You went over that bridge at night?" he asked, his voice hushed. Ajay nodded. "Yeah, why?" His friend took a deep breath. "That overpass. A woman jumped off it years ago. She was heartbroken after her husband left her. People say her spirit still lingers there, crying on the stairs." Ajay felt his stomach drop. "Many people have seen her," his friend continued. "Always sitting on the stairs, always weeping. But if you try to help her..." He hesitated. AJ's skin prickled. What happens if you try to help her? His friend's voice was barely a whisper. She looks at you. Ajay never took that shortcut again.